I wanted to check in with the Marvels 2.0, see how it was doing. Here's the trailer from Sony Pictures Entertainment. 11 million views 2 days ago. 77,000 likes to 113,000 dislikes. It's been ratioed into the ground, and all of the comments are making fun of it. Because this movie's not going to be good. Look at the track record of Sony Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man. This is already lining up to be a disaster just based on that. They've had one good movie, and it was Venom 1. Venom 1, I like that movie, actually. I think it's a fun time. Is it a great movie? No. But for the most part, it's a fun kind of like buddy movie. It's not bad. The second one goes off the rails. And then, of course, I don't think I need to say anything about Morbius. And now they've got Kraven coming out. That's going to be a shit show. And this will be an even bigger shit show. Like everyone likes to point out, it looks like the CW. And it's just not, it's just not really, I don't think anyone's going to be excited for this. First off, Madam Web is an old lady in a wheelchair. They're like, F that. I thought this was Julia Carpenter. I was wrong. Though she is in the movie, so both Madam Webs are in the movie. We'll come back to that trailer in a second. People are speculating that this guy is Ben Parker. They're desperate to tie this to Spider-Man somehow. But here is Julia Carpenter, the second Madam Web, in the movie. She is the second Spider-Woman. That is true. And they've got Maddie Franklin, who I really don't know much about, to be honest. Same with this other Spider-Girl character. Ezekiel Sims, definitely not going to be the villain of the movie. He will be probably somebody that's preparing them to use their powers. And I'm going to guess that Moreland shows up at the end, or however you say his name. I've always called him Moreland, but he will probably show up at the end and be the main villain, and then Ezekiel will team up to fight them, and then maybe they'll tie this into the other Spider-Man movies and do a Spider-Verse movie, but this is a hell of a way to start that up. You've already started that foundation with the animated movies. Why don't you just keep doing those? No, we've got to have a live-action one, and let's start it with all women. Let's put all women in it. Ezekiel will say, no man can defeat me, and Cassandra Webb will say, I am no man, and punch him. If that's a quote in the movie, that would be beautiful. Yeah, a lot of people are speculating that this guy's Ben Parker. Here's an article on it. Adam Webb is Adam Scott playing Ben Parker. Desperately trying to tie this in with Spider-Man movies. Without Spider-Man, by the way. I like how his costume even looks like a Spider-Man costume for old Ezekiel. So you're going to have two Spider-Women and a Spider-Girl, and then Madam Web, who is actually an old lady in a wheelchair. I can't wait for this movie to get attacked and called ageist and not helping disabled people. Ableist. It's going to be ageist and ableist. No one's used that in so long. Well, now it's going to make a comeback. Ableist and ageist. Because if you know Madam Web, she don't look like this. She's not a attractive middle-aged woman. That's not Madam Web. She's an old lady in a wheelchair. So I'm waiting for the rhetoric to turn on this movie because, like many of you, I thought they were going to go Julia Carpenter, which would make sense because she's younger and she's not in a wheelchair. And they flipped the script. Well, we'll just have everybody in it. Everybody's in it. By the way, looks like they're changing things up again because Maddie Franklin is Martha Franklin, who I barely even remember. I don't think she's been around very much. Spectacular Spider-Man 262 in 1998. Has she even been used that much? Oh, the Jackal brought Maddie back to life as clones. Oh, so she's been dead for a long time. She's been dead. Yeah, I don't. There's so many Spider-Woman characters at this point. But as you can see, this character and this character down here at the bottom left don't really look that much alike. And then you got this other new character. This one's new, actually. The other one, at least been around for a minute. This one has not been around for very long. First appearance is in 2004 in Amazing Fantasy Volume 2. That was a thing. That probably didn't last very long. So that was her book. I didn't read that book. So, or Young Allies, the other one that she was in. They're just grabbing. See, this is the thing that Sony is doing. Sony's literally, because Sony has the rights to any Spider character, new or old. That's why as soon as Miles Morales was created, they had the power to make movies of him because they have all of the Spider stuff. Doesn't matter. This is why Marvel has a problem with Sony here because they're always going to have to bend to their will because they can't even use most of their Spider shit. But I swear, Sony has a guy that's probably going through every single Spider-Man comic ever created and just grabbing these characters and saying, well, let's put them in a movie. So that's what's going on with that has to be what's going on at this point because it's like, what do you do? Like, no one remembers this Anya character. I barely even remember Maddie Franklin. This is a character that is very obscure. I'm sure there's going to be somebody in the comments, I love that character. Okay. Well, you're one of the few. Comments are just absolutely tearing this up, too, outside of the ratio. As you can see here, you have stuff like, I like the part where she says he was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died. I love the part where Madam Web says, misery, misery, misery. That's what you've chosen. A truly menacing and memorable moment. I love the part where she says, everyone keeps telling me how my story is supposed to go. No, I'm going to do my own thing. To the bad guys and saves the world. I love the part where Ben Parker said, I missed the part where that's my problem. Everyone's just doing these things. They're ripping on the movie pretty hard. This was a mistake for Sony to do. I don't know who's approving all this shit. And by the way, this has to have been approved by multiple people. Like, you don't just get the green light. There had to go through multiple sources at Sony to get this movie made, I would imagine, and all of them thought this was a good idea. All of them thought that this was a good idea. No, this is a terrible idea, and you're going to pay for it in low box office dollars. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about the Marvels 2.0, Madam Web. This is going to be fun when this drops. We're going to have a good time roasting this because I'm going to press X to doubt that this is a good movie. Stop making Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man. That's my advice. Anyway, that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed, hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my Locals.